Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So I wanted to ask you guys this. Who's the better player? And I don't know if you guys have seen them play over the last 2 weeks. It seems like they're taking turns in who's leading in scoring. Mike, let me ask you this. I say it's a tie because I've seen both of them playing at a high level. Going into the season, you would say Jayson Tatum. But right now, I honestly think you can't go wrong with either or. But if you had to pick, or can you pick who's better right now between Tatum and Brown?
Yo, Carl, we've been talking about this.
Yeah,
I told you. The issue is, if you put them together, they would be a great player. Like if you took Jaylen Brown's personality and put it in Jayson Tatum's talent, you would have a great player. So that's the challenge, because Jayson Tatum picks and chooses. He doesn't have the aggressiveness to be the superstar yet. He only does it in spurts. Jaylen Brown, I don't think his talent is the same as Jayson Tatum's. So if you had to pick one, you're probably going to pick the guy with the higher ceiling. That would be Jayson Tatum. But then again, like you said, Carl, you really can't go wrong because Jaylen Brown plays hard, and his aggressiveness is really a lot of times what propels them is him being aggressive. And the extra nod for him is he can literally defend like at a high level.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown defends at Jaylen Brown over the past couple of years, Carl, we've talked about this. He's one of the only people that I've seen like make it kind of difficult for KD. He's the only one I've seen do that. So Jaylen Brown is an elite defender when he commits to it. So it really is a toss-up. But if you put them together, man, you have one heck of a player.
So you can't pick either then?
No, I can't pick. I'll take if I had to pick, you tell me right now, make a pick, I'd still pick Jayson Tatum.
Okay. To me, again, it's crazy how Brown could come out with a 40-piece, and then a couple games later, Jayson Tatum's like, okay, I'm going to come out with a 40-piece too. Mr. Numbers, what are your thoughts here with this debate between JT and JB?
I think that Jayson Tatum is the superior player, and I particularly don't think it's close. I think that Tatum is in the I have Tatum ranked 13, 12, flirting with the top 15. I have Jaylen like in the top 30. Coming into the season, you would say Jayson Tatum, like you said, and what we've seen like the last week or so, Jaylen Brown has been hooping. But the thing about Jaylen Brown, the way Brad Stevens uses him is not the same as like Jayson Tatum. If you watch the Wolves with Jimmy Butler, Tibbs used Wiggins the same way Brad Stevens is using Jaylen Brown. Go to the corner, stay in the corner, go to the corner, stay in the corner. In my opinion, Jaylen Brown's dribble package is not as good as Tatum. The one problem that I see with Tatum is his tunnel vision. He's never seen a shot that he doesn't like. Mike, if you saw the Pacers-Celtics game, who was guarding Tatum at the end of the game when you guys were up 1? Brogdon, right? So if you're Jayson Tatum, instead of falling in love with that one step back 3, take him to the cup or go inside the arc. Carl, I know you've seen Tatum fall in love with that shot too. That side step 3.
Absolutely.
He called bank against the Bucks. Another thing.
It looks good. It looks good.
That's the reason why. It's not because it looks good.
Another thing.
I think that's part of it. I don't think that's the only reason. I just think that's part. I think it's because it's a cool little highlight to do that.
Tatum has average or below the average foot speed. His foot speed is average or below average. His moves, however, are really, really good. His touch is really, really good. And his finesse is really, really good. So he can beat you off the dribble. So what he can do is he can slow you down, rock you to sleep, then do the step up. He's not beating you off the dribble. So that's why it's not like he doesn't want to drive. He knows what he's good at right now.
Wow, that's a good point.
I think that another reason why is because in the last 3 years, Tatum's been the best player in 3 playoff series. In the Philly series in 2018, when he was a rookie, he was the best player on the floor. Against Toronto and Philly last year, he was the best player on the floor. Against the Bucks in 2019, they didn't go their way. Against the Pacers in 2019, I think Kyrie was the best player on the floor, but that's another thing. But again, you can't hold it at the same time. You can't hold it against Jaylen Brown because he's doing what coach asked him to do. You know, if he wants Kemba to score and distribute the rock, that's what Kemba's going to do. If he wants Marcus Smart to take 15 threes a game, Marcus Smart is going to take 15 threes a game. We saw in the Inter-Conference Finals. If he wants Jayson Tatum with the ball in crucial moments, then he's going to have it. I mean, we saw it in game 3 or game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals where Jaylen Brown made like 2 straight threes in the corners to cut the game. That's his role. That's another thing that when people are like judge player A and player B, that's their role. Jaylen Brown's role has been to be a spot-up shooter. With Kemba out, unfortunately, Brad Stevens probably talking to Jaylen, be like, listen, I need you to be 1A, 1B with Tatum. And he's like, okay, I'll respond. He's been responding. He's been defending. Jaylen Brown's been fun to watch. And you shouldn't tell a black man what he's worth. So I'm just going to throw it out there. He's underpaid.
Okay. Coach, what are your thoughts here? JT or JB?
I think I don't know yet. But like Mike said, higher ceiling, Jayson Tatum. Who plays harder? Who's better on the defensive end? Jaylen Brown. It all depends on what you need, what your fit is. You will know this story if they're ever separated, put on other teams, and then how they operate on other teams and who's more successful in a different situation. The situation they're in is perfect. It's ice. It's fire and ice right now. Fire and ice. They complement each other very, very well. They fit very, very well. Tatum, you're the more finesse player. You take more of the step back threes. You handle it. Brown, you stay in the corner. You pop, you attack the basket. You go to the glass. You get offensive rebounds. You guard the best player on the other team. We're going to work this out together. So right now, I mean, this is a great media story to get it going. If you want to break that tandem up and start having jealousy in terms of who's better and who's not.
No, thank you. No, that's not what I'm trying to do here.
You know that's what's happening, Carl. That's what they setting you up for. They setting you up to break them up.
No, because again, if you look at the trajectory of the Celtics over the last few years, Celtic fans have been, this is what we wanted. Again, when they had Kyrie Irving, they had Scary Terry, they had all these other players, these guys felt slighted. Now the team is theirs. They shouldn't feel slighted because they are getting the ball. It's 1 and 2. You know, even with Kemba out the lineup or even with Kemba in the lineup, both of them are still getting the ball as much as they should. So this is what Danny Ainge has been building towards is Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Now the spotlight's on them. Let's see what they can do. That's all we're saying over here with them. Anything else? I know Steph Curry proved his doubters wrong. It's funny. Last week we talked about Steph Curry and then he dropped 62, which is crazy to believe.
And then 30.
Respect and Draymond Green. Respect. I'm telling you guys, and I've said this before on the show so much. That team plays so different with Draymond. He is a point forward who moves the ball, sets the hardest screens, directs the traffic, and that's how Steph plays. Steph is not a pick and roll, I'm going to get you one-on-one. Steph has to be within the system. Draymond comes back, Steph looks better. It's no coincidence that Steph plays better with Draymond Green.
The Warriors as a whole look better.
Listen to the numbers.
Yo, bro.
And I hate to ask you for a deep dive. I want to ask you for a deep dive. When you get a chance, you deep dive all the games, Steph's percentages, and how he plays with Draymond on the court and Draymond not on the court.
Yo, Carl, you already know this is Mac just brought up the guy who I had a whole vlog battle with somebody.
With me, it was with me. Because listen. Here's some backstory though, because he was compared to Dennis Rodman. That was the issue.
Because
we were compared him to Dennis Rodman. That was the issue.
Yes, because the context was within his system, he is the Dennis. He can shoot better than Dennis. We're not going to get into that. The point is, we're not going to get into that. The point is what Max said. Draymond plays the perfect role for the Warriors. He unlocks a lot of what they do. And do you see what Wiseman looks like? I was one of the people that said they should have tried to get a veteran. Well, they didn't get a veteran, but man, oh man, what a great pick to get that kid to play alongside Draymond. He looks like he's going to be a star. Draymond, Mac is absolutely right. Steph is Steph, and anybody that thought Steph wasn't Steph is dumb. But Draymond with him, come on, man. You listen, do we have to remind people just a year and a half ago what they did to Portland in the Western Conference Finals? Draymond averaged a triple-double. Steph had the highest scoring average of any Western Conference Finals. Those two together, watch out for the Warriors is what I'm saying. They're not just going to be some cakewalk when they get to the playoffs, and they will make the playoffs.
Okay. The only other storyline going on is Paul George and how Is he being targeted, or is that really like a media narrative?
Yep.
Are they targeting upon that? If so, why is he a target? Go ahead, Mike.
He is being targeted.
You see what happened? You see what Devin Booker was talking real spicy to him.
Spice him. Yeah.
Nobody respects him because it's this whole thing that went with the Clippers where you trying to get special treatment like you're a superstar. And then when you walk in the playoffs, you wet the bed, brother. So you're not a superstar and you be talking crazy like you are. That's the thing. Everybody saw how he talked to Damian Lillard in the bubble while they was laughing and stuff. And it's like, yo, bro, you look at Dame's resume, look at yours. Don't compare yourself to Dame. Like you ain't built like that. And y'all know I'm a Pacer fan. So of course I loved Paul George, but I wasn't crying no tears when he left because of stuff like this. Because what's in the playoffs. That's all it is. Players are saying we don't respect you until you earn the respect. Ain't no playoff piece. Stop it.
Okay, Andres, we know that you're a big Paul George fan. Are you here to defend your guy?
It's funny because Devin Booker was talking smack, and people love saying, "Oh, what Paul George accomplished." What the hell has Devin Booker accomplished to be talking shit? Excuse my French. To be talking shit to a top 5 two-way player in the NBA. He was an All-Star last year because Damian Lillard got hurt. So Devin Booker has no right to be talking to a player like that when his resume is miss the playoffs, miss the playoffs, miss the playoffs, miss the playoffs, miss the playoffs. We're getting to 2015. Hold up. Miss the playoffs and miss the playoffs. So there is no reason why someone like Devin Booker should be talking smack to Paul George. Let me ask you something, Carl. If you're the best hooper on the block and some little kid comes into the block, like he runs the park, and he talks smack to you, are you not going to feel a certain type of way?
Yeah, I'm going to be like, who are you? I'm going to look at him like, who is he?
Exactly. Yeah. So Devin Booker has missed the playoffs the last 6 years since he's been in the NBA. This year, everyone likes to talk about Chris Paul. He doesn't have flashy numbers, but Chris Paul is basically holding their hand. Shout out to Monty Williams, who's doing an excellent job. So if you want to say that Paul George hasn't accomplished anything in the league but take Devin Booker's side, you're an effing hypocrite, period.
Okay, so what do you have to say to – and again, even in the hit list, we've seen Paul George get a lot of hate, and you've been there to defend him. What do you have to say to that?
That's fine. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Steph. People just got to get that hate out of their heart. You know, you're a grown-ass man. There's no reason you should be saying – Oh, no, I'm not talking about – Mike, listen, your reasons – Mike, you're a Pacers fan. Your reasons are justified. I'm not coming at you.
It's not the same as Steph. Let's be clear. Let's
No, but it's – to a certain extent, it is because what Paul George went through last year, a lot of you people like to say, oh, if you need mental help, then go to a psychologist. Paul George came out and said that he was suffering depression. And what was everyone saying? Oh, he's a millionaire. Oh, he's playing basketball. Oh, no, everyone wants to have that money. Oh, athletes can't be depressed. So Paul George comes out and he says he's depressed, and all of these people are like, oh, pandemic P, oh, way off P, whatever.
Yeah, but you know what? Right, but the reason why, and again, we like to use the word context in the sports hit list, is a matter of he didn't play well in a couple of games, and then all of a sudden he played well, and then he used and said that he was going through depression. Again, I can't sit here and tell someone.
He was the best Clipper in the Denver series. He's not the reason why they blew.
Was he depressed in OKC?
What?
Was he depressed in the playoffs with Russ?
No.
That's the point.
Well,
that's the point. Everybody's going to take – it's not just last year. Players are taking everything that he's done in the playoffs since his last 2 years with us and saying, bro, why are you calling yourself playoff P? You have no reason to call yourself that. So stop saying it. And then don't start talking crazy to guys like Damian Lillard who hits game winners. Watch up. It ain't
Listen,
Devin
man,
Booker.
I can't say anything. Listen, I can't say anything bad about Damian Lillard because
the coach hasn't spoken too.
Hold on. Coach is calling a timeout. Coach, what are your thoughts on Paul George and what's been going on with players targeting him now and how he's feeling targeted and everything?
Listen, in the words of Drake, it bothers me when the gods get to acting like the bro. Listen, I'm all what Mr. Number said. Like, I'm very, very big proponent of mental health. Like, anybody can be looking a certain way. Anybody can be acting a certain way. Anybody can be looking like their life is amazing, and you don't know what they're going through, especially on those stages. They put on the front. They have the front with the millions and millions of fans who will turn on them and say exactly what a lot of us say. Oh, you getting paid millions of dollars and all that. So P could have been going through whatever he wanted.